If there was a pill that you could take once a day to protect you from getting HIV without using a condom, would you take it? Well, it now exists, and gay adult film mogul Michael Lucas takes it. In a recent op-ed with Out magazine, the CEO of Lucas Entertainment writes, "The more I learn about PrEP, the more shocked I'm becoming that gay men are not shouting from the rooftops about this potential game changer in the fight to prevent new HIV infections. I'm ready to shout about it." Joining us now to shout about PrEP is the head of one of the largest production studios of all-male erotica, Michael Lucas. Michael, thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for inviting me.
Explain to people who don't know what Truvada is.
Well, Truvada is a PrEP medication. It consists of two of three pills that are given to people with HIV. And the third pill is actually more toxic. So we're talking about two pills that are less toxic. If you're taking it every day, there is 99% guarantee that you will not become zero-converted.
Mm-hmm. It's essentially a license to have sex without a condom.
Well, the thing is, and I can cite with statistics, 50,000 of Americans, only Americans, get infected each year. 1 in 4 infected are under 24 years old, which is actually between 13 and 24 years old. 58%, according to Nation's survey, admitted not to use condoms when having anal sex, which is quite a devastating number.
Yeah.
So,
but why do you think it's so high? I mean, why do you think there is such a high rate of non-compliance of using condoms in the first place?
You see, whether we like it or not, and we don't, but this is human nature. People do not, in the heat of the moment, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So the the whole condom use thing failed. So as you can see, if you believe the statistics, if you trust the statistics, it's a failure.
Well, it certainly hasn't. I mean, it's certainly not getting better because we know that HIV rates are on the rise here, and they're on the rise in a lot of countries. Are you more likely now to not use a condom than you were before you were taking Truvada?
No.
Still use both?
Yes, I think it's just, in my opinion, it's stupid not to use Truvada if it's available.
Mm-hmm. I mean, are you saying that this is only for people who are in high-risk occupations like yourself, or are you saying that all gay men should have it, or everyone?
I think this is a decision that has to be made by every person individually. I do not advocate for everyone mandatory taking it, but I made...
For a start, it's very expensive, right? If you don't have insurance, it's $11,000 to $14,000 a year.
Correct.
Yeah.
I made up my mind, so I'm taking it. I luckily have the insurance, and I only pay the copay, I believe $15.
Sure.
But the company actually does provide you with at least 6 months free trial. Mm-hmm. But yes, of course, it is very difficult if you don't have insurance.
How do you feel about sex education in general and about the ability that people have to get information about things like this?
Well, I think...
I almost feel like you say that when you cite those statistics about the non-compliance of people using condoms, in countries which have a more liberal attitude towards sex, those rates are much higher. One of the sort of oddities and ironies of the United States is that there's a lot of misinformation about sex education. There's a lot of reluctance to teach kids honestly about sex, and that stems from a kind of a slightly puritanical, maybe religious upbringing. It's certainly a part of the country like the Midwest and the South that's even more serious than it is in places like the Northwest and the Northeast. And I wonder whether Truvada almost plays into that, making it okay to not understand what's going on with sex education, making it okay not to use condoms, because now we've got a pill that's going to save us.
No. As I said, the whole thing about the sexual education about condoms failed whether you like it or not, but people do not use condoms. In fact, let me tell you.
But why? I'm just interested in wondering why you think that is.
It's a human nature. Well,
it's not human nature, because in some parts of the world people do use condoms a lot more than they do here.
Where do you get this?
Northern Europe, Australia. HIV rates are just much, much lower than they are here.
Okay. Well, I really don't know why it is so. Maybe I really don't know. But what I know is HIV is on the rise, so we have to do something about it. And if this pill exists, I think a lot of people who are sexually active, and I am very sexually active, I'm a very sexual person, and I made up my mind based on that. So and who didn't sleep? I did sleep a couple of times, and a couple of times it was because condoms broke. Twice condoms broke. So I believe I should protect myself. And also, I have at least 8 friends of mine that in the past year turned positive. In fact, once when the condom broke, I took the guy right away to get tested, the 20-minute test. And he turned positive in front of my eyes. So I right away start taking 28-day post-exposure medicine, which was really, really difficult. I had every side effect possible. Now, on Truvada, which I'm taking once every day, religiously every evening, I do not have any side effects. And I actually don't know anyone who does. Now, I'm not saying it's a vitamin. It is a pill, like every medication does have side effects. I don't feel them. I probably, it's not the best thing for your health, but I much rather take this pill than will be taking the combination of 3 pills and get if I get HIV.
Yeah, yeah.
I would prefer not to get HIV.
Prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Correct. And also, the way I was thinking when I was making this decision was that if I get HIV, I will be married to at least 3 pills, which I'll have no choice but have to take till the rest of my life, or until they find the vaccine. I'm sorry, some kind of a cure. Right now, I can take this medication. If I will have side effects, I can stop taking it. So I have a choice at this point.
What's your message to your fans, to the gay community about Truvada?
Well, you have to get the information about Truvada. I also believe that this is quite criminal, that our politically correct establishment does not make it, it does not talk about that. I want to see ads about Truvada everywhere. I want to have people to educate our youth about Truvada. I think it should be out there. It's quite criminal that it is not out there. It's kind of, I read comments on my posting, and I saw that a lot of people disagree with me. Well, the same situation was when birth control pills were introduced in the 1960s. A lot of people were outraged, and the moral police was saying, well, now women will be involved in the immoral behavior and just having sex without using condoms. Well, there were a lot of pregnancies before.
I do think there's a bit of a difference between giving women control over their own reproductive systems and a drug that allows us to have sex. I think that reproduction is the key difference between the female pill and Truvada, but I suppose I take your point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, are you at all concerned about the rise of other diseases? I'm a little concerned,
Absolutely.
I must say, about the ease with which it's possible to take a pill and then feel like you've done your job. If it's already difficult enough to get people to use condoms, it's only going to be doubly difficult if they feel that they have the added protection of Truvada, which doesn't provide protection, of course, for syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea, all of these other things that they might be able to get.
Right. Well, no, absolutely, of course, and God forbid, I'm not saying that people shouldn't use condom. People should use condom. The thing is that they don't. More than half of gay men do not use condoms, and this is the statistic. Only over, I think 58%, as I said, gay men admitted that they did not use condom in the during the last intercourse that they had. I believe this is a greater number. Because this is only 58% that admitted. I believe the number is greater.
Yes, exactly. You would always assume that the people who would admit that would be smaller than the actual number that's true. Michael, thanks for coming by. Thanks for getting the word out there about Truvada. Stay with us. Up next, we'll be talking about Greek legislation that some say will ignite an HIV witch hunt.